He would say, you have more friends than you have fingers. Yeah, you got too many friends.
Right. Get off of one hand. That's what I used to tell them. So you better watch who your friends are.
So we're like, okay, we can't have more than 5 friends, I guess.
You can have associates. Plenty of associates. I always told them true friends.
Welcome to Be a Baller Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Tim Brown. And today I'm excited to have in studio as we continue to talk about the book, Boys Won't Be Boys, Empowering Boys of Uncommon in the Common World. And this being Fatherhood Month, I thought it was appropriate to have in studio 2 good friends, young Kenny, senior Kenny, seasoned Kenny. I've known Mr. Crump, as I still call him. I've known him when I first started teaching at Mohawk Middle School. We met there, and it was a great time there. We had a lot of fun. And I learned a lot from him because his children were older. And I watched him, how he was raising his children. And me and Carmen, we observed him and his wife, Sherry. We said, man, there's something about them. I like what they're doing. And so we kind of picked some things from them, and we kind of grown in that. But I wanted to get both of them on the show today so we can have that discussion about a father and a son relationship, and a dad and sons and all. And now young Kenny has his own child now. Just see some of the lessons that he learned from dad. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I like to have a little fun. Some guys, it's hard to get a laugh out of them, But these guys, they love to laugh, so it's going to be fun.
Right.
Mr. Crump, they call you KC. Yeah. Now, where did that name come from?
Oh, wow. Actually, way back in the day, we used to all have CBs. A lot of my cousins and family, and my handle was KC, Kansas City Kid. So,
wow.
Just after my initials.
That's the first time I've heard that.
It's news to you, huh? Don't worry about it. We're going to let you off the hook. Because I know you got a name that they called you growing up. And what was your nickname growing up?
Yeah, so within the family, they called me Pud.
Pud.
So Pud, and Pud was my grandma. She gave me the name. She said when I came out, I looked like vanilla pudding. So, that was the name.
It's just stuck, huh?
It's just stuck.
Yes, so when somebody say Pud, that's
they really know
family.
Me.
They really know you. They really know you. Mr. Crump, Kenny, can you talk about the relationship between you and your dad growing up?
Yeah, I had a really good relationship with my dad. My dad, first of all, you have to realize that growing up, my dad grew up in the South in Mississippi and was a sharecropper. Mm. So he knew nothing but working hard. Mm. And he passed that skill on to us, that we all were hard workers because of him, watching him raising 6 kids and, and just always providing. That was my dad. Yeah, he was good, great provider for the family. And I got some stories also about that too.
Yeah, but I know you're known as the fix-it man. You can build, you can fix just about anything. That's some of the qualities you learned from your dad, observing your dad.
Yeah, watching him do pretty much. You didn't have money back then to pay for something to be fixed, so you tried your hand at pretty much everything, whether it was plumbing, electrical work, you name it, carpentry. So, yeah, I picked up and learned a lot from my dad.
Did you pick up some of those skills? What's so funny?
It's just the way you look. It was like, I know you can't do any of that. But you know what? I'll say this. While I'll try anything. But if I can't perfect it, I can always hire somebody to do it. Right. I feel like my time is very valuable.
And these hands are valuable.
Yeah.
Need these hands.
Smooth hands.
Need these hands. And then, Mr. Crump, now they got YouTube.
That's
you
right.
You can always go to YouTube.
That's what they tell me. Hey, just YouTube it, Dad. I'm like, okay.
That's it.
Hey there, Clark Kellogg here. Building a legacy usually involves meeting the unique needs of others and being part of something bigger than yourself. That's why I love First Merchants Bank. First Merchants believes that helping communities prosper means more than just providing banking services. It means offering accessible financial education, expanded access to home ownership, and partnerships with local nonprofits to help raise up neighborhoods and lift families out of financial hardship. For resources and tools available to you, visit www.firstmerchants.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Kenny Jr., growing up, I know you come from a spiritual family, a family that has a strong faith family. Can you talk about the role your dad played in your spiritual growth?
Yeah, absolutely. So, growing up, I have 4 siblings. So, spirituality, church, God was a big part of our life. We grew up in the church. So we were there. I feel like once a week at least. If not that, we were there a lot. Mm-hmm. And it was just always important to, keep God first in whatever we did. He would say, if you have more friends than you have fingers, you got too many friends.
Right. Get off of one hand. That's what I used to tell them. So you better watch who your friends are.
So we're like, okay, we can't have more than 5 friends, I guess.
You can have associates, plenty of associates. Wow. I always told them true friends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, I feel like it was always like an echo, hearing Dad just drop different gems. But one of the ones I guess that sticks out the most right now is he would always he would give us the friend rule. He would say, if you have more friends than you have fingers, you got too many friends. Right.
Get off of one hand. That's what I used to tell them. So you better watch who your friends are.
So we're like, okay, we can't have more than 5 friends, I guess.
You can have associates, plenty of associates. Wow. I always told them true friends.
Which is true though, right? I mean, because as you get older, those friends that you thought were your friends, right. You really don't talk to them that much anymore. Right. So that one really stuck. Just keep a small circle, at least to those that are extremely close to you.
Right. Speaking of that, how important, as you mentioned, 4 brothers and sisters, how important is family?
Oh, man, family is extremely important. I mean, and again, as you get older, as the circle gets smaller, you really understand that, you can always count on your family for the things you need, even when, the friends aren't there. And again, it's just nice to have that support system. I know my dad and my mom were just always just a huge part of everything I've done, from day one. I can't think of one thing that they didn't support me on or, give me some encouraging words or, a verse, a Bible verse to use. It was always just a huge part. The family is number one.
Yeah. In the book, Boys Won't Be Boys, one of the chapters we talk about the importance of the family name. Mm-hmm. So this is for both of you guys. What does the Crump name mean and represent?
Wow. Well, your name, I always say your name is your bond. Mm. What you do is going to be representative of what your family is going to feel or say about you. So you gotta really guard your family name. You don't want negative thoughts or negative, things coming from saying, oh, the Crump name. No, I want everybody to say something positive when they hear, about Kenny Crump and his family.
Good.
Yeah, and I would second that. I mean, especially being named after my dad. Not only the last name, first name too. Right. So, it was always like I had it's like that shadow, and I had to not say I had to live up to a name, but it's just important. I mean, again, your name follows you everywhere. So, we want to make sure that, people are saying positive things, about the name. So, we always thought about that, and every move I make, it's like I want to represent, my name at the best I can.
That's good. Mr. Crump, in the book, we also talk about how important legacy is. Mm-hmm. In this podcast being a legacy podcast. What's the legacy of the Crump family?
Wow.
Take us back. Yeah.
Well, just going back, like I told you, family, mom and dad came out of Mississippi. I was actually a baby and when they moved to Ohio. Mm. So it was, it was important that, he kept everyone intact in the family. Matter of fact, he brought his parents up to Youngstown, Ohio. That's where we landed, was in Youngstown, Ohio. And, like I said, it was just important that the Crump family stayed together and kept that connection. And then other family members moved up to Youngstown, and from there, like you said, it was a big legacy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Kenny Jr. in that word legacy, as Dad was sharing, always challenge young people, the next generation, that first off, you got to protect the legacy, and then you got to add value to the legacy. So can you talk to the audience how are you protecting that name and adding value to it?
Absolutely, yeah. So I feel like our family legacy is a legacy of servants. We from my grandmother. She was a pastor. To Dad, he served in the schools and now serves in the church. And so again, I have an uncle. He's a pastor. So I think it's just a family of servants, and we continue to serve the community. Now, me having a different type of ministry, but my ministry, I feel, is my business, and I have the opportunity to serve the community and the youth, and just bring a positive lifestyle to them, and so that I believe that's our family legacy, is just bringing that light, to the community and showing them that we can just serve them and bring positivity to them.
I wanted to add too, I was just up in Youngstown this past weekend where my mom, Pastor Manola Crump, was honored as the founding pastor of a ministry that still carries her name. And it was nice. They had a nice plaque, nice program for her. And so her legacy goes on, as a founding pastor and one of the first Black females to ever, be over a church in Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow, that's powerful. I know, Kenny Jr., you and your bride have started a foundation to help young business. Can you talk about that part of the legacy that you guys are building through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, continue to serve. My wife and I are entrepreneurs. And, one thing we always thought about was, how can we add value to the next generation of entrepreneurs? So for us, we knew we bumped our heads a lot, on our way up. So we wanted to create an organization that could, provide resources for entrepreneurs, anything from maybe they need counsel to, maybe an accountant, graphic designers, whatever it is. So we want to, just build up those upcoming entrepreneurs. Our foundation is called Elevate You, stands for We Elevate You Foundation. And we're just looking to help, and add value where we can.
Yeah, I can attest to you guys serving. I remember, Mr. Crump, when I was at Mohawk, you always had, you ran that summer program, NYSP program.
That's right.
And you always had young people there. And not only were you serving young people, you was giving others an opportunity to be a part of it. And I think I'm sure that it's still going on today. Maybe a different name, but it's still going on today. And I know you're one of the ones who was always, hey, man, you need to come to this program, young people. And then you were hiring people as well.
Well, a lot of young people got their first jobs working in YSP, which I was really, thrilled about. Starting at, I'm trying to think, was it 14 or 15? But anyway, at least 16, they worked their first job. And it was a great program that brought in over 600 kids every summer, and always had, a lot of kids, a lot of workers, kept kids busy, kept them off the streets, kept them, interested in sports. And it was a great program.
Yeah, that's legacy.
Yeah.
There's your son is sitting right there, Mr. Crump. What would you tell your younger self?
I wish I had the drive he has. He's got a lot of drive to self-motivate himself. And
he got that from somewhere.
Well,
he saw that somewhere.
I think his mom is real big on instilling that drive and that confidence in all of the kids. So, but I just think a younger self, my younger self, would like to have a little more oomph and drive to to obtain different goals. I believe me, I'm happy the way life went, and but I think his drive and motivation it was above and beyond.
Isn't it a joy watching that?
Oh, man.
Being able to see that in your namesake.
You're
so
right.
Whatever he's doing, here's your namesake. You
right.
know?
I enjoy seeing
that.
I enjoy seeing him and the other kids, strive to do and be the best they can be.
Mr. Crump, you have been with me on this journey with the book for since inception 10 years ago. You read the book, you led book clubs at schools. Can you talk about some of the unique conversations it can generate between fathers and sons, this particular book?
Yeah, I'd have to say, we were at a couple schools together. I'm almost amazed just to think that it's been 10 years, first of all, that we had worked with groups of young boys. These were 5th and 6th graders that we were mentoring. And some of the conversations, it's just amazing that they look for discipline. I always say that, when you're too lax with young folks, I think it gives them, reasons to do as they please. But when you show them some structure and discipline, I think that's what young people really look for. And it's been some great conversations with young people over the years.
Yeah, that's good. I think, and they look for that from real men.
Right.
Real grown men.
Right.
Like, now, I don't know what you're doing somewhere else, but
right
here, right now.
There you go.
We ain't doing that, and they respect that.
They do.
They respect that.
And they look for that.
They look for that.
You're right.
I think the thing I love about you is your consistency.
That's important.
They need people who show
important.
up. Who will show up, because they knew every Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day that was, Mr. Brown coming, or Mr. Crump, if he out in Arizona, with the baseball, spring training. Because you'd always tell me now, Mr. Brown, I'm telling you, you know my 3 weeks now, spring training. I said, I got you. but that consistency.
Yeah, they look for that.
And boys today need that consistency in their life from a man, So speaking of that, you now, Kenny Jr., being a dad now, and being a girl dad,
Right.
Can you share the importance of a strong dad modeling a positive, loving father for your daughter, and how important that's going to be to her?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's only 3, but I'm seeing it how just me being a big part of her life is really impacting her. I think all girls need a father in their life, a dad in their life. Because number one, you're that first example of a man and their love for a man. So you have to show them, what it's like, or how a man is supposed to treat them, and all those things. So I really feel like she's understanding that, even at a young age of 3. But yeah, we have to show up. We have to be there.
Yeah. When you were growing up, what were those things that you always tell people that a lot of things that young men learn are not necessarily set down and taught. They're caught. What were some of the things that you caught from your dad and watching how his relationship with your mother? Yeah.
So, man, one of the big things, I think my dad, again, I'm on the outside, watching, but, I feel like they my dad just did a really good job, listening to my mom, just being present, being that provider like his dad was for his family. Again, that work ethic, so a lot of that is what I would kind of watch. He didn't have to say much, I can just, all my siblings, we watch, and he was just a great example of just a man, just being a man, and, just taking care of business.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. I had someone on the show say this about their dad. He said, I never saw my dad miss not opening up a door for my mother.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, and I'm sure you saw those kind of things,
Absolutely.
And we do what we see. We don't see those kind of things. We don't know what to do.
Yep.
But we see a lot. Yeah. And your dad's been a great example. And one thing I appreciate your dad is him being that serious about being a provider. Being that man that you can count on. So I know you're involved in a whole lot of activities now.
Yeah.
He said he got 5 of them, and I done watched him play all them sports. Dad, how many times you been in the gym, on the baseball field, gymnastics, and all that. But why was that so important, Dad's presence?
Oh my gosh. man, I think I said it earlier about just the support, just knowing that, you have somebody that believes in you. I tell people a lot, I feel like a lot of my success and, my blessings are from just knowing that my dad and my mom just were always going to be right there. I'm at a meet, I look up in the stands and, oh, they're right there. Yeah. It gives you a confidence that I feel like every kid, I mean, even as adults, we all need it. Yeah. We all need that. But yeah, I always had it from my dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to salute you, Dad, because like I tell you, I watched you when your daughter was coaching at Wellington.
Oh, yeah.
Not playing basketball anymore, coaching. And I'm looking at Mom and Dad in the stands. I'm like, wait a minute, now she ain't playing. She's just the coach.
The support was there. Yeah.
So when our daughter Carmel became a high school basketball coach, here we are driving to Richmond, Indiana. She's coaching Cedar Catholic. Here we are driving down there. And Mom and Dad being in the stands, and I got that from you. I want my gas money.
Well, though, that's important, though, because they look at that. Yes. One thing, too, when Kenny was in gymnastics and we'd have a meet, Florida or San Francisco, you name it, all over the country, we took all of the kids with us. I laugh about it, but he knows. I told him I had the second mortgage. But it was good because it was a lot of good family bonding time. Traveling, watching gymnastics meet and supporting.
And I'll say, and I know this is still on the subject, but he still to this day, I mean, he'll help with my business. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, Dad, we need a driver to pick up for after school. You jump in and, drive if we need it. So it just never stopped, So, yeah.
I'm still on the sub list, Tim.
Still on that list. Call Dad.
He's consistent. We know we can count on him.
Right. This has been great. We're going to continue the conversation. Now, Mr. Crump, what word of encouragement would you give to fathers raising young men or raising boys in today's society? We know things are a little different. What are those hallmarks that still work?
Well, we've been saying the same word, consistency. Be consistent with your kids, and especially a young man, because, when they get to that 13, 14, 15, I always say they start feeling themselves, and you gotta, be consistently letting them know that there is a structure we're gonna follow and there's a way we're gonna go about it, and still you gotta let them know that Dad's in charge, but I'm gonna listen to you and hear what you gotta say, but be consistent, and that word keeps coming up because it's so important, especially when they're at that teenage years. Right.
They have to know that Dad is Dad. I'm not your friend.
About the 5 friends. You said a lot, right?
Not one of the 5.
I ain't in the Fab 5. I'm not in the Fab 5.
That's right.
I ain't in that one now.
You're right about
you
that.
got to stay messed up. It's funny how the relationship changes between father and son. You're talking about those teenage years.
Right.
With TJ, and I'm sure with Kenny Jr., when they were teenagers, boy, you couldn't tell me you wanted to strangle them, just hoping they get through that, because you're trying to be in it, you're asking what they doing, that look on their face and all that. But now, TJ and I, just like you guys, TJ and I, we hang out together. We're in Vegas every summer for a week. Just those times when he calls, I'm always ready because I know it's going to be a long conversation, but it's going to be a great one, And just the fact that that's, we started a relationship, We started a relationship. And it was a little rocky there, but but we still there. Yep. But they know, that Dad's gonna be there.
That's right.
Dad ain't going anywhere. Still my son, whatnot, through those times. Kenny, as we come around here, can you share the blessing of a positive father and son relationship? How important that is, a positive father and son relationship.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of building off what Dad just said. So, for me, I can't think of any type of negativity, coming up. I mean, again, there's always rocky times, but, just the importance of a positive relationship just means the world. I mean, if parents get it or dad gets it right, from the early age, then it's going to continue on, into adulthood. And, again, times may get rocky, but communicate, figure it out, and don't stop. Just working on it, because again, the more positive it is, the better the outcome's going to be.
It's going to be good. Mr. Crump, I'm going to give you the last thing. I need you to recommend this book. And I know we've been working with it. And the question is, why would you recommend this book, Boys Won't Be Boys, Empowering Boys of Uncommon in a Common World, to mentors, fathers, youth group leaders, and particularly, can you speak to that word uncommon?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, I think the book, to me, brought out a lot of character building because it dealt with relationships. It dealt with, like you saying, your name, how you're going to protect your name, your legacy, all of that. So, it's important to, I'd say it's a good read because a lot of fathers can follow the examples that you give in the book and relate it to their own kids. And that's what we did when we mentored boys in 5th and 6th grade in elementary school. We just kind of followed things that you had written about in the book and related to the kids, and they listen. And they listen.
Yeah, they definitely listen. You can tell. We just planted some seeds, Some guys would plant the seed. Some we were pouring water on the seed. They've heard a lot of it before.
Right.
But we know ultimately God gets the increase. And the increase is godly men, like your son. Men who are there for their family, raising their family, being there, loving their mother, loving their children, being in the home. And that's what God wants, That's what God wants. And I think we as men, we have that opportunity to be that example. And the thing about you two, others are watching. But I mean, they're watching your relationship, They're watching and saying, like, man, I want this when I get older. I want to have a son, or I just want to be a family man, And I think they don't see enough of that. So we have an opportunity to showcase that, to show them what that looks like, And then when they see it, man, I want that, I want that. I want that for my family and for my children's children and grandkids, And that's what this is all about.
That's good.
So I want to thank you all for this time. It's been rich, and I've always enjoyed watching your relationship and how it just continues to grow. That's the other thing. As dads, we just continue to grow our relationship with our children. But the one thing that you have done is that you created a space where the children want to come home. Where they want to be around mom and dad, There's something that they miss, or that only mom and dad can provide, It could be a special dish that only mom can cook that. For our daughter Carmel is potatoes and sausage, whatever. Only mom can, it's something, that you created. In that family, you and your wife Sherry have created in that family. And so I'm just so excited for the model that you've been to me personally, as a young pup, because when I came to Mohawk, I was 20-some years old. You were the older guy there. I watched you in that gym class, how you handled them kids, how you coach those kids. You learned a lot from you, watched how you coached them. And then the apple doesn't fall from the tree.
That's true.
Doesn't fall from the tree. Your children are doing well. And so it's just a blessing of having you on the show. So this is the end of our podcast. I want to thank both Kenny Sr. and Kenny Jr. for being our special guest today as we talk about fatherhood, as we talk about that father and son relationship, how important that is. So thank you all for being part of the show.
Thanks for having us, too.
For the audience, this has been an informative discussion on fatherhood and the important relationship between father and son. So this is Coach Tim Brown. Well, thank you all for listening to Be a Baller Podcast.
If you enjoyed our show, please share this podcast with family and friends. Be a Baller Podcast is available on all major podcast stations. Be sure to come back next week as we continue to discuss on how to build a lifelong legacy. Until then, don't forget to be a baller. This podcast was created by Coach Tim Brown and produced and edited by the video production class of Worthington Christian High School.